Hi guys, welcome back to Block Talks at TechTuesdays. I have with me Mr. Michael Clark, founder of the Cognition Group. Thank you for being here.
Anytime. Nice to be here.
Thank you. So why don't we start with an introduction to yourself and to the Cognition Group and what you guys are building.
So it's multifaceted. So primarily I'm an author. So I've recently written a book called Our Moment, which is all about the future of AI, but also in there is the new school's curriculum for AI and also how to turn data into a real world asset like electricity. The other piece of the puzzle is the Cognition Group, which is really the services that underpin that and make it real. Working with governments and nations around the world to do the things that I've either written about or built. One of the things that is being built also is the world's first data valuation engine. So the ability to actually value data for real and price it. That is also part of the group. So we advise investors, family offices, all the way up to corporates in terms of how to participate in the new economy. So looking at AI as not AI, but as a form of collaborative intelligence. So how do you then as a business work alongside a machine now? And what does that look like from a leadership standpoint in a business?
That's very interesting. And I think we hear the word data now much more than we did before.
Correct.
But even myself, I struggle to understand what it really means. How do you value data? What kind of data can be valued?
So I think first of all, it's worth taking a step back and ask yourself what data really means. I think we've been taught to treat data as a transaction or as a byproduct of something a computer did. The reality is data is your stories and your memories. It's actually a representation of something. It's a piece of digital art. It's a memory in a photograph. So we've kind of lost that. So when I say we can value that, we're now looking at data as a utility now, or of a store of value. Versus someone like you, that you've been giving it away for years, and you haven't really thought about it. But now the ability to value it and use it for yourself and share with others could unlock things that you probably haven't thought about. Preventative medicine, the ability to aggregate data to give you a perspective on your life, the ability to hand your data down to your children. We're at an event today talking about PropTech. PropTech doesn't work unless buildings can actually share data safely and securely and make it work. So this big, small word has been completely undervalued and forgotten. And the reality is the whole world, I think, is starting to wake up that it's not a transaction, it's a cultural asset. It's actually going to be key to how the economy functions.
That's very interesting. And do you see an intersection between, obviously blockchain is a method of storing data.
Correct.
How important do you think that blockchain is in your world?
So ironically, the original manuscript and a lot of the technology was based on blockchain technology. Because we need the transparency of ownership. Because the thing is, no one owns data.
Yeah.
It's the biggest red herring in the world, right? Because it needs multiple people to generate the data.
Yeah.
If we take a building as an example, well, there's the tenant, there's the company that owns the air conditioning unit in the building. Those three parties need to work together to create a piece of data related to the situation.
Yeah.
So the blockchain comes in then because now I can store permissioning, I can store various other elements, but also not forgetting I also get access to smart contracts, which then starts to allow me to share this stuff in a very secure way. So the irony is, thankfully, people forget, like you talk blockchain, I'm more interested in the convergence of all of these technologies. How blockchain converges with AI, how it converges with another technology to now suddenly solve a problem that we've struggled with for decades, which is how do we safely, securely share data, but also ensure people are rewarded for what they do, but also then we have the governance and transparency that we need.
Yeah. And how much adoption are you seeing? Because I know you said that you're advising different family offices, institutions, governments.
Yeah.
How easy is it to convince these traditional people to start utilizing such new technology?
So I'm a huge believer in not starting with the technology, starting with the problem to be solved, or the opportunity. Because I had this old mandate in a previous job, you don't build solutions looking for problems. I think we've gone through the phases of leadership buying into technology because they read a paper or someone told them they needed it and then they're struggling to figure out what to do with it. So a lot of the conversations I have with people is one, let's take corporates for example. A lot of them don't even know where the value is in their data. It's just trapped in legacy systems. The amount of board level and C-suite I've met that can't even justify a data project because they don't know the ROI. So if you start there, with the problem to be solved, but also the opportunity and the benefits, and then start aligning the technology to that. Because I think we also, rightly or wrongly, sometimes Web3 gets a bad rap. People think of blockchain not as its potential, or more so of what it's been a link to in the Web3 world. So that's why having that problem first conversation and then leading them into that blockchain solution, which says, well, actually, this will give you what you need, but also being able to value the data means, guess what? I don't need to store as much.
Yeah.
So we're in Dubai. Big focus in Dubai is energy efficiency and ESG. So if you're storing less, I have the transparency and I can share. Energy comes down, compute power comes down, also security comes in. So it's less about the blockchain conversation, it's more about what am I helping you solve? And by the way, here's a piece of technology that allows you to do that.
Yeah, that's a very interesting way of looking at it. Thank you so much for being with us today. Very interesting conversation, and I'm very excited to see what you're building and where it goes.
Thanks a lot. Pleasure.
Thanks guys for watching.